Hello, friends. Good morning. Welcome to my channel Lightning Pilot, where we discuss and learn all about Salesforce. In my previous video, I have explained you how to set up the developer edition org for Salesforce. So I hope you did it. And now let's progress forward to learn about flows and how to create one. In today's agenda, I am going to show you how to create a record trigger flow, and I'm going to explain you an element called update records, and I'll give you practice tasks at the end. So stay tuned until the end of the video and we'll create a flow. Let's move to the use case. So I just wanted to show you the use case which I'm going to create now. So let's think we need to update a follow-up date on a case to 7 days after the created date for every new case that is created. So this flow is going to trigger when a case is created, and we are going to update the follow-up date on the same case. So let's dive right into it, and let me go to the flows. But before that, let us check on the object case if there is such field called follow-up date. The case fields and relationship. As you see, there is no follow-up date field, so I'll just create a custom field for our flow. Date field, follow up date. I just don't like to see the underscore, so I always do this when I create fields or that flows or anything. So this is done. This is done. So now, as the field follow up date is created, I'm going to create a flow now. Let's move to flows. Click on new flow. Let's select triggered automations as we are going to create a record trigger flow, and the record trigger flow. So the first thing we need to do in a record trigger flow is to configure the start element. So first, let's select the object because we need to select the object which triggers this flow. As we saw in our use case, we are going to trigger this flow when a case is created. So I'll just select case object, and this record is going to trigger the flow, and this is going to trigger the flow when a record is created. So as you see, a record is created is selected. And coming to entry conditions, we do not need any entry conditions actually, but let's give one condition just to show you how those work. So in condition requirements, I'm going to say only consider the cases where the follow date equals, follow up date is null, true. So we are going to consider the cases where follow up date is not updated earlier. So that's how conditions work. In these are entry conditions. So it is going to filter out the cases where follow-up date is null and going to trigger the flow for only those type of cases. Coming to the next thing, as you see here, there are two choices for us to optimize the flow. It is fast field updates and actions and related records. So we need to choose fast field updates when we are going to update the triggering record itself. So we are going to update the record which is triggering our flow. That's why we need to choose the fast field updates because this flow runs before the record is saved to database. If you select the other one, the flow is going to run after the record is set to save to database. So that means you're going to write something to the database twice. So you're already creating a case and you need to update a field on that case. So you can do it together, which saves the governor limits and keeps flow intact. So I'm going to select fast field updates to make sure it runs before the record is saved, and then let's first save the record, which I always forget to do so. Case create and complete follow-up date. Okay, we saved the case and now we selected the, okay, as you see the error, as I showed you in the previous video, this is error panel. As we keep on saving the flow, error panel gets updated. And if you see there is no there is no element connected to the start element. That's why it is showing an error. Let's add some. We want to update the triggering record itself. So I'm just going to select this element. And as you see here, by default, it, we use the case record that triggered the flow is being selected here. So let's keep it at that. And let me just select the follow-up date. So we need the follow-up date to be 7 days from today. So that means you need a formula which gives an output of today added by 7 days. So I'm going to select a new resource, that is formula, and just add 7 days, 7 days from today. So let's select the data type as date, as we need date. We have a function called today. So we are going to select it and we are going to add 7 days to the current date. That's done. And now follow-up date is going to be updated by 7 days from today. Let's give the label here, update the follow-up date. Okay, now we are done. Let's click on save. Let's activate it and try to create the new case. So as you see here, the error panel is cleared now. There is nothing here. Let's go and create a case and test it how it works. Let me just refresh this so that it is correctly updated. Let's create a new case. I'm just going to give a basic details. We just need to see the follow-up date. You see there is a follow-up date field already here, which we created. Let's click on save. Why can't I see the follow-up date? Okay, let's check maybe in all data if follow-up date is updated. Yeah. So the follow-up date is updated to 7 days from today. Today is 20th. As you can see, the created by date and the follow-up date is updated by 27th. It might be a layout issue why this isn't visible. Let's quickly explore why it isn't visible. Okay. So this is visible here and why not in the cake itself? Mm, let me maybe view as system administrator. Okay, anyway, we are diverting ourselves. So we just saw that follow-up date is updated by 7 days from today. Let's recap what we did in the flow. So we created a record trigger flow and we updated the configuration of start element. Then we added the update element to it and also saw how formula field works in this context. So let's get back to our presentation, and I hope you understood how record triggered flow works, and I want you to explore it by working on these two tasks which you see on the screen. The first task is to update a field on lead when a lead is created. So it's going to be a before save flow again. And second one is to work on when a case is updated. So the entry condition is going to be different. So I want you to work on these two flows and comment below the video that if it worked or not, so I can help you if needed. And thank you for watching. Keep subscribing to my channel to get the latest content. I'm going to make this as a series of flows where I show you everything about flows and you can use it in your project. Thank you.